Hey, my name is George with Alarcon Contractors. We are going to start going over Mr. Brown Anthony's house claim. Claim number 1183. No, I'm sorry, 1182. L as in Larry, 3-89Q as in Quell. And that is for 4832 Price Street in Forest Park, Georgia, 30297. We're gonna go ahead and start this demonstration video with notating that our markings, what we marked the roof with on the day of inspection, was with red or red chalk. Now this is Hancock ladder assist sent through State Farm. And as you can see, they are using the white chalk here. And we will go over that. That way we can see the differences on their findings compared to the differences on our findings, which is identical, to be honest with you. Again, this is a proof to show that this is Hancock ladder assist. Using white chalk. And this is a full overview of the roof. As you can see here, we both agreed to 13 wind damage shingles, and 12 hell hits. Same in the back. 0 wind damage, 0 wind damage. This is backwards, but you can still be able to see it. 13 hell hits, 13 hell hits. Right slope, same thing. 5 wind damage. This is our chalking. We used white on the right side, and hell 14 plus. This is, you can see, is a ladder assist. You can see the difference on handwriting too. Wind, they also acknowledge 5. Hail also acknowledge 14. Now we're gonna go over a few things. I do want to go ahead and start off with the acknowledging the box vents that were approved. Now, I do notice that the box vents were approved for hail damage, and the gutters and downspouts, about 55 linear feet, were approved for hail damage as well. One thing I would like to show you guys before getting started is where the box vents are positioned. And this overview gives you the perfect view of where single one of those 9 box vents that you guys approved are located. As you can see, this box vent is connected to not only the ridge here, but it's connected to both hips, and that's the right side of the roof. The left side of the roof, you can see, is the same thing. We have this whole ridge, which is this ridge is connected to the box vent, and hips are also connected to this box vent. Meaning whenever we lift those box vents, not only do we need to dig into the shingles around the box vent, but we need to also dig into these hips and this ridge. Now, we all know that each one of those hips lay over each other, and so does each one of those, each one of the ridge also sits on top of each other, so pretty much becomes a domino effect. But we'll go over more things here in a bit. As you can see here, these box vents are also awfully close. And we'll get into more detail here on the video, but awfully close to the ridge, meaning the ridge does need to be torn into there. Now this is a full overview of the front. As you can see, both the ladder assist and both us came to an agreement with the same damages. 12 hell hits on the front slope, 13 wind creases on the front slope. It gets a little closer here so you can actually see the hell hits. You can see them right off the back. There's no denying them, which threw me off because the gutters and the box vents were approved for helpful without a doubt, but not the roof, when the roof has hell hits all over it too. Now, this is quite tricky area that we would also, that was one of the shingles that was approved through State Farm. If you pay close attention to this shingle, you can tell that it's sitting, the hip is sitting right on the shingle, and each hip lays on top of each other. Meaning, just to replace this one shingle, we need to lift up this hip area. We would run into the same issue here. The shingle started here, ends there, and is also one of the shingles that got approved through State Farm. Same issue here. We'll dig into this shingle. When we dig into the shingle, we'll have to tear into this hip. And this is a perfect illustration of the photo, what needs to happen. Because again, the shingle does sit under the hips. So when removing that hip, that shingle needs to come off as well. Now, this is very important because if we do any repairs on the hips or on the ridge, which we do need to dig into the ridge with those box vents. And we do also need to dig into the hips with those affected shingles and the box vents. And as you can see here, highlighted, when the new under limit should extend 4 to 6 inches to fold over the ridge and be inserted between each shingle and existing under limit. If the nails and the top cores of the shingle interfere with intersecting the new under limit, at least 4 inches to 6 inches, those shingles may need to be removed. Once the shingle has been fully removed, it should not be reinstalled. Now, we do need to make sure we follow these guidelines. If not, all the manufacturer warranty is out the window. And just to pretty much put it in an explanation here, we dig into this hip, we would need to dig into 4 inches to the left, 4 inches to the right, in order to give the hip its proper water, a proper water seal. Make sure there's no water that can get through there. Now, meaning we would need to tear into all these shingles on your left and all the shingles to your right there. Same thing goes for the box vents. We dig into this box vents, meaning we dig into the ridge. We need to reinstall the water barrier to make sure it's sealed properly. And it would be 4 inches to the left side of here and 4 inches to the right side, meaning we'll dig into all these shingles right here. Same goes for this area. Now, this is a wind crease shingle, actually, that was approved for repair as well. And this is actually in the valley. Now, Doing repairs in on the valleys come with its own issues. You can see here, it's one of the windcrete shingles. It's here in the valley. It comes with its own issues because whenever you do remove a shingle, not only does it have the 4 nails that the shingle is installed with, but it also has the 4 nails attached to it from the shingles above it. Meaning, so we were to remove this one shingle, we would also, so say that we were to remove this shingle, we would also have to remove the nails that are holding up the shingle above it in order to remove the shingle, putting us at risk of leaving nail holes into the ice and water barrier. Now, when the ice and water barrier is left with holes from its old shingles, it can compromise the waterproof barrier and potentially lead to leaks. Holes can form when the old shingles are removed, and if not properly patched or repaired, they can allow water to seep into the roof, decking, and potentially into the home. Now, if we were to be able to do this the right way and make sure that there is no nails left behind. It is very important because this is where all the water comes to when it rains. All the water rushes down to its valley. So water can easily pile up there. And if there's even the slightest, smallest little hole, even if we missed the previous hole from the previous shingle by anything, we're running a high risk of letting water seep in through there. And now, as you can see, the solution to the problem would be just to remove this whole valley of shingles and reinstall all new ice and water barrier, meaning all the shingles that are on the ice and water barrier would need to be removed. So again, like I just explained, you may need to remove the entire ice and water barrier. Especially when doing repairs. Now, what we have here, this is, we did go in an attempt to do a repair, see if we would be able to do all these repairs without affecting any of the shingles around its perimeter. And what you see here, this is the shingle we were repairing actually. This one right here. And as you can see, here's a close-up photo. None of the shingles above it were affected prior to the repair. Here again is another before photo. Again, no shingle around it or above it is affected. And here's what happened whenever we replaced it with a new shingle. Now, we did use a insurance-approved snake bar to do this repair. We also lifted the shingle as minimal as possible. We didn't lift it higher than needed. But you can see here, all these new creases were created when doing that repair. Meaning I was not able to give warranty for this repair or any of the other repairs that are recommended for Mr. Brown's roof. Now here's a full overview of the back. Again, the ladder assist did also acknowledge 13 hell hits, as did we. And here's that, showing that again. Here's a close-up on the hell hits. So you can see there's some actually pretty big hell hits. And here's, now, like I mentioned, these box vents are awfully close to the ridge. Meaning this, the next photo will illustrate what exactly needs to happen in order to even replace the box vent. So to replace even one of the 9 box vents, what ends up happening, as you can see this photo illustrated, is not only do we have to remove all the 6 shingles that surround it. You know, you have one right here in the bottom. You have two to your left, 2 to your right, 1 right over it. Sometimes it can extend a little bit more to the left, and sometimes it can extend more to the right. And not only do you have to remove all those shingles, but now you also have to remove the ridge. Also needs to be removed because some of those shingles are tucked under that ridge. So in order to even dig into those box vents, we need to dig into the ridge. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, when working with ridge, we do need that overlap of felt of 4 inches minimal on each side of the ridge in order to be able to properly seal it, and we'll be able to give it its manufacturer warranty. If we don't do that, unfortunately, none of the products that we install onto Mr. Brown's roof or repair would be warranted to the manufacturer. All the warranty would be automatically voided if we do not have that 4-inch overlap on this side of the ridge and 4-inch overlap on the other side of the ridge. And again, whenever you dig into 4 inches, that means you have to dig into all these shingles. All these shingles, 4 inches. 4 inches, all the shingles on both sides. Now, this is the right side of the roof now. And on the right side, you can see that the ladder assist, again, a little better, clear photo. Acknowledge 5 wind damaged shingles and 14 hell hits, just as we did. Now on the far left top right here, there's also a wind damaged shingle that it's also sitting right under the ridge vent, meaning we will need to dig into that ridge vent to get to that shingle. Okay guys, well that concludes the overview of Mr. and Mrs. Brown's roof. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call at 470-529-3162. And if you could just reach out to us as soon as possible for some clarification on why the hail hits weren't actually taken into consideration, and for a solution for those box vents without tearing into the rest of the roof, and as well as the areas around the valleys and the hips. I'm looking forward to you guys reaching back to us so we can find a common ground for Mr. and Mrs. Brown.